Tonight on Ibiza Uncovered, we join Kelly, Lucy and Sean, who've just finished their A-levels and are ready for a week of club madness. One of the world's highest paid DJs, Jeremy Healy, flies into Ibiza for a one-off gig. The pressure's on for club dancer Carla. We sample the outrageous nightlife of Ibiza town. And what do Mike and Claire get up to at Manumission this week? This is the heart of historic Ibiza town. It's now the home of a young man from the Outer Hebrides who came here for a 2-week holiday in April and never looked back.
I was sitting in TGI Fridays with my friend Katrina, and I said to her, wouldn't it be fabulous just to work abroad for the summer? Because I've never been abroad, and another 2 people at work were talking about going to New Zealand and Australia and working over there. And I just got this urge in me just to go. And I said to her, I says, where do you go? You know, I mean, it's a big world out there. Where do you go? She says, if you want to work abroad, start in Ibiza.
Every year, thousands of young people come to Ibiza looking for work, but few are as lucky as Stuart. On his first night in Ibiza town, he landed a job here as a barman, where he has his own inimitable way of dealing with customers.
So we get a kiss tonight now? Yes.
That's good. You know German?
No, of course not.
Okay, well, I only serve German.
Which one? How much is that?
A lot.
No, the real price, please.
Okay, everything you've got in your wallet. I've never been abroad before, ever. I'm stuck in the Outer Hebrides, and I mean stuck in the Outer Hebrides, because you don't live there, you just exist. It's like there's 1,500 people, and you know everybody. I'm related to half of them. Anybody want to go to Privilege tonight?
No.
Yeah? You? Hello, darling, how are you?
I'm fine, you?
I didn't have no sleep, I had 4 hours sleep.
I didn't have no sleep yesterday. I didn't sleep for
You haven't slept?
30 hours.
I went into one of the other bars and spoke to a couple of people saying I was looking for a job, just went round on Sunday evening. Next thing I know, I was introduced to David, met David, offered me the job, saying I could, you know, if you want, I can sort you out with an apartment, until, you know, a room until you get your own. But we get on that well that I just stay there now and rent out one of his rooms. So it's just like luck, and just arriving on the island and getting a job. Because there's so many people, they're crazy. They come to Ibiza now. It's like the middle of June, give me a job, give me a job, give me a job. And I'm like, look, I arrived on the 13th of April looking for a job, and I was one of the first, you know. Why come now?
Over in San Antonio, it's a similar story. Good jobs are hard to come by, but that doesn't stop young Brits packing in work back home and heading for a new life in the sun. Jill and Alan are the latest arrivals.
We were both working in a pub in London, and we just basically had enough. We wanted sunshine and just a change of life. Yeah, we booked one-way flights, and we had a bit of hassle with our money going through because we were such short notice that we came away with buttons, basically. And we went down to this club last night because I'd overheard someone saying they needed workers, and went down to the club. She took us straight in, offered us work, didn't she?
Yeah, apparently it's a good paying club, so they'll give us about 3 million out, which is 15 quid, which is good pay.
That night, Jill and Alan hit the streets of San Antonio to hand out flyers for Ecstasis nightclub. Jill's got a prime spot in the main square, but Alan's stuck further out, where earning a living isn't the only thing he's got to worry about.
This is the PR room, we call it cropping. Giving these out outside of the club, which is illegal, so I've got to keep an eye out for the coppers. Hiding away from the police.
In San Antonio Square, Jill's having her own problems.
Okay, darling,
What?
I don't need ticket.
See, that's the kind of thing you've got to put up with. Just people just assume they've got the right to just touch you wherever they feel like.
Alright.
Did I give you them?
You have, but we couldn't find it.
You couldn't find it? It's just there, you can't miss it.
Roundabout, we went past
Roundabout, on the right, across the road. Big pill on the door, you can't miss it. Come on.
I looked everywhere for that
Do you want me to
thing.
walk you down? It's 2 seconds.
I looked.
Do you want me to walk you down? 2 seconds. Come
Right. Are there birds in there, yeah?
Beautiful birds. I've sent loads
You've
of stories
promised,
back.
right?
Promise. There's 2 girls from Hartlepool, very drunk, you can take advantage.
Alan points the lads in the right direction, and they make their uncertain way to the club.
Hey, look at me!
Everybody's a nutter. Everybody's just off it totally, which is... It's not a problem because I've worked the pubs for that many years that I'm used to taking grief, and just because I'm one ear and not the other. That's all.
A few minutes later, Alan's got some less than satisfied customers to deal with.
The club is empty. I mean, as far as clubs go, that has to be the emptiest club I've ever been in my life.
Serious, what, no one in?
There was the barman and the DJ. I could bounce from the door, and that was it.
At the Tropical Hotel, 1830 rep Alice is halfway through the holiday season. Today she's on duty by the pool and catching up on gossip from the boozy night before.
To keep the noise down on the streets of the night time. Spends a fortune. How much? So I'll pad your bum for you later. Not on the way back, on the way there, not on the way back.
Right, OK. Right,
Alice and the rest of the team have started rehearsals for a sketch they're performing next week. Simon, her area manager, is directing.
Yeah, you say it with no feeling, but you can hardly hear you even in this room. And you imagine like 700 people at the back of an auditorium. Yeah, you can still say it loud. Director's sketch, couple of changes to director's sketch. Director's still Dane. We're going to drop Alice for wife. No. All right, Alice, wife. Costas is Geezer, because Geezer is Costas.
Geezer is a senior rep at the Tropical with Alice.
Doctor.
No, I hate you.
Right, Alice, just going to get you a brush.
I love your belly, though.
Right, you've got to be going passion, passion, yeah? Because you've got to, like, subliminally put it in their heads, yeah? So it's passion, 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 yeah? And then walk off.
Knock at the door. Who could that be?
It is I! Costas!
He's absolutely mental all the time, and I don't even know if he knows it he is, but everyone loves him so much because he just don't care. He's so funny. My husband!
My guns! My dogs!
Oh no! Somebody call a doctor! It's a complete whole way of life, and just you get tired and you get stressed and it puts a strain on you, and then one day I had to get up early after no sleep and I was just like, I've had enough of this, this ain't right. But I'm just so glad I didn't go home really. I would have gone home and be sitting there thinking, what if only, like, even if it's only one summer, it's a summer out of the rest of your life, which is nothing at all.
Over in Ibiza town, Stuart, our barman from the Outer Hebrides, is being consoled by a friend following a confrontation with his boss.
Since the last time I was talking to you, I am now unemployed and homeless in Ibiza. My boss trusted me with a set of keys to the bar. I went back to the bar with my 2 friends and had a couple of vodkas. And he said to me, I can't trust you anymore. You don't work for me. I want you to pack a bag. I don't have a job. I don't have an apartment. I don't have any savings. I have to seriously consider going home if I cannot find a job within the next 2 weeks.
It's Monday night and the crowds are gathering at Bar M for the pre-party before manumission.
Describe what you're wearing yet, girls. Cal, are you wearing this purple skirt?
Sean, Lucy and Kelly are 3 club-crazy girls from Wales. It's their first time in Ibiza and they're getting ready for a big night at manumission.
Yeah, that's too boring. And a glitter to the top. Oh, I've lost my pride. That's a flat. At least Nea's gone out of my
Oh, we can't both go out and leave again.
Don't get it wet.
Is there any water there?
So we've just done our A-levels and we all thought we needed a holiday. And we all knew straight away that we wanted to come to Ibiza.
We come from Wales, North Wales, a little town called Llandudno. It's very pretty, I'm not mocking the place, it's a very beautiful
They
place.
open about
Very pretty.
one ill people's home a week, something like that.
Yeah. Mainly, it was mainly purely for the clubs and then the sun. Because there's just nothing to do where we are. Right, ready?
Yeah, I got your purse.
Yep, check. Right, let's go, girls.
Coming up in part 2, Manumission and what will the girls from Wales make of their first ever live sex show. On their way to Manumission, Sean, Lucy and Kelly decide to sample the outrageous nightlife of Ibiza town. Every night around midnight, dancers and promoters from all the clubs parade through the streets. The clubs have a different theme for each night, and as they battle it out for punters, the costumes get wilder.
She had plastic surgery this morning.
They're real. That looks real.
Did they use cement?
Stuart seems to have cheered up. It looks as if he's found a new job.
I went to Ibiza bar today, which is owned by 2 friends from Nottingham, and they've offered me a job doing their PR work, which is really working the streets, should I say, going up and pulling in punters. And hopefully, fingers crossed, everything works out well. I shall probably start this on Thursday evening. I shall go round the bars Thursday evening for the weekend as the street gets busier. And then I will go to the beach and do the beaches as well. You know, all the men in swimming trunks, just give them a flyer down their trunks.
This is the Street of Virgins, the heart of Ibiza town's gay nightlife, where transvestites rub shoulders with tourists, and everywhere you turn there's an outrageous sight. At the far end of the street, the girls have stopped off for a drink at the Dome Bar. There they bump into Mike and Claire, partners in Manumission and stars of the sex show.
Oh, I like it.
I know. You've been to Manumission before?
Back in San Antonio, times are getting tough for Jill and Alan.
Yesterday we were running on to the last of our money. So today we got up and we had about, God, I can't remember. It's a couple of hundred pesetas, which was basically enough to get us a bottle of water and that to go to work with, and a can of cold drink. And we didn't have anything to eat. We're going to get paid tonight, but with the money that we'll be getting paid, we owe a week's rent. So I'm standing here at night giving these out all night, which I'm not giving that many away because most people are going to Manumission.
Meanwhile, the girls are joining 8,000 other clubbers in a packed Manumission. 3 a.m. in San Antonio, and it's all quiet at Ecstasis nightclub, where Jill and Alan have come to collect their wages.
Are wages ready? No?
Hey.
Why not? Where are they then? Are we not getting paid tonight?
They discover the manager's gone home, and his deputy isn't proving much help.
Well, who can give us some? Well, he's fucking crap. What are we supposed to do? We've got nothing. We haven't got anything.
We're supposed to get paid tonight, and we went down, and the manager wasn't there, so we couldn't get paid.
Alan goes to find out exactly what's happened to the manager and their money.
It's just as the guy had to go home. He's got to go to the doctors tomorrow. The owner, manager, whatever.
Why, what's wrong with him? He had a heart attack. He had to give somebody some money, did he? Because we've had no money all day today, and we've been waiting all day, haven't we? For 3 o'clock this morning to come, while we had some money, and we haven't got none still.
Said, come back tomorrow, and they'll pay us tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
But that's no good, this.
But he's not even sure if the guy's going to be there at 2 o'clock anyway.
They just make it up as they go along.
Back at Manumission, an expectant crowd is wondering what's in store for them in this week's sex show. The only clue is a tantalising glimpse of some mineral water. The stars of the show have discovered a highly original way of refreshing the parts mineral water normally doesn't reach. As the sun comes up, there's no sign of flagging among the hardcore clubbers. The girls move on to Space, Ibiza's daytime club, which opens at 7 in the morning. As ever, it's packed with a colourful crowd who never seem to stop partying. But for the girls, enough is enough.
Manumission till 7, over some breakfast. Got here about half an hour ago. We're feeling a bit worse for wear, aren't we?
Yeah, to say the least.
Manumission was excellent though, it was a really good night in there.
Yeah,
it was really good.
It's a lovely place. People are okay.
They weren't that friendly, I didn't find them that friendly in there.
But,
I thought the sex show was a bit pointless.
it's just the fact that I've been up since 10 yesterday morning, right the way through, and just haven't got the energy to sort of do what I'd like to do here, dance, chill out, so I go to bed.
While the holiday makers recover from clubbing, there's another side to the island that few people see. Chris Dews runs the environmental group Ecologic, which is concerned about the impact of tourism on the island.
This island would never survive without tourism, but sustainable tourism is what we need.
Like me!
We last saw Chris trying to convince the tourists in San Antonio's West End of the benefits of recycling.
So what are you going to do with your bottle when you finish with it?
I'll stick it on that table and probably have another one.
Oh, there you go. Well done. Good lad. That's what I like to see.
We've got an apartment full of them.
We
got a bottle mating going on.
Oh, good. And when you finish all the bottles, what are you going to do with them?
May service takes them for recycling.
Ah, good. We're starting to get somewhere finally in Ibiza. Yeah, for me, I have a lot of hope for the future here. I'm now working with some of the local authorities here, trying to plan some recycling schemes. This is a totally recycled toilet. It's made from totally 100% recycled materials, apart from the cement that's joining the cans together. Inside the walls here are 3,000 drink cans. 3,000 latas dentro las paredes. Okay, so, are you ready? Inside the palace? Who wants to demonstrate? Oh, yeah, okay. Right, in here, basically, here is down there is a deposit for the shit, basically, and we mix with sawdust, a small quantity of sawdust that goes in on top of it, so that it covers it up and it doesn't smell then. And we take this concrete tap that's on the floor here, this concrete lid, we put it in this hole so that you start again. And you leave the whole thing for 1 year, and after 1 year then you have 1 cubic metre of compost for your fruit trees and for your flowering plants and things. That one.
And it doesn't smell.
And it doesn't smell, no, and it's nice to sit in there. In fact, it's almost too nice to use the toilet.
2 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon in San Antonio, and Alan's on the way to confront the elusive boss of Ecstasis nightclub.
We come for our pay. We came last night and you'd gone home.
Tonight.
Eh? Tonight. But money? No, we need it now. We've got to pay the rent today.
No.
Why is it not possible?
11 o'clock.
But we need the money now. We were told last night we've got to move out of the apartment today. We've got to pay the rent for the last week. And we've got no money to move. I mean, we were told last night, so why not?
Why don't pay Manolito last night?
Sorry?
Manolito.
No one would pay us. Everybody was passing the book saying it was up to you. You all said you had to pay us. Hmm? He says we have to come at 2 o'clock to get tonight to get paid. And he's saying that we should have got paid by someone else last night, but no one else would pay us last night.
They wouldn't pay us.
No one gave us money last night. Everybody said it was to you.
For 2 days. We're starving.
We're losing our hotel today. We were told last night. Now we're told to come at 2 o'clock today. We've come at 2 o'clock today. We don't want 11 o'clock, because then it's going to be the next day. Everybody on the street that's worked here have told us you don't get paid by them, they never pay you, they never pay you on time, they never pay you commission. The rules are changing. You widen the goalpost, you keep them on the pitch, you don't take them off the fucking pitch, you keep them on it. We want our money. We're getting kicked out of the hotel today. You're working in a big club, he's making enough money over the bar to pay us all. We need the money. You're going after doctors? You can afford a doctor, we can't afford a doctor, we can't afford to eat. He's just give us the money to get a bottle of friggin' water. No, not tonight, it was last night we were supposed to be paid. Well, he should have been, that's his job. That's his job to make sure if he's not there, somebody else pays. He's supposed to be a manager, he should start managing. Everybody on the street told us about it.
One by one, the PRs are invited into the manager's office. Alan's in first.
21, 3.5 mil a day.
21? That was 4 mil a day, I told you yesterday.
Yeah, but that's starting from today.
You left?
I haven't told him that.
No.
But I guess he kind of assumed it.
Did you get fired?
I don't know.
I did.
Oh, what did he say?
Let me next. I'm not to work here anymore.
Jill counts her money for the week's work.
9, 10. How much money is that then?
About 100 quid. Just under.
It's ridiculous.
Now they've been paid, at least they can afford breakfast.
Well, we've got our wages now, so that's something. And even though he's fired us, we weren't going back there anyway. So we're going to Ibiza town now to look for work and possibly move from San Ann to there.
In Ibiza town, Jill and Alan like what they see.
Look at that there.
Yeah. I think we've decided, haven't we?
Well, let's see. What about jobs first?
Jobs and accommodation, but we've got as much chance here as we did in the other place.
But life in Ibiza town isn't working out quite so well for Stuart, the sacked barman from the Outer Hebrides.
Well, I found a job in a bar called Ibiza, which was doing their PR work, and I had to attract a certain amount of business to the bar before I would get any money. It's now been coming up for a week without work, and there ain't any money left. The barrel's dry, so I can't afford to spend 2 to 3 weeks bringing people to a bar to try and bring business to a bar that hasn't had any business before. It's a hard thing to say, but I don't want to say it. I think the dreaded UK is calling. I arrived on the 13th of April, and since then, and today's date is what? 4th of July? I ain't been in bed before 5 o'clock in the morning. And that's me being here, so like, God, over 10 weeks. And I've spent over £4,000 on clothes and platforms and wigs and whatever since I got here. Alcohol. All my wages, what have I earned? I mean, I've spent, you could say, oh, God. I wish I hadn't been so stupid with my money when I arrived. I mean, I spent £4,000 on clothes before I came here, so why did I need to spend another £4,000 on clothes? It was silly, because I would have been able to live here.
Stuart flew back to Britain the next day. The island's club season is now in full swing, and the top DJs are starting to arrive. Jeremy Healy has just flown in from Paris, fresh from mixing the music for a fashion show with John Galliano. The former lead singer of 80s pop band Hazy Fantasy is one of the highest paid DJs in the world. He's here for just 4 days as star guest of an EMI conference and to perform a one-off gig. This year he's brought his musical partner Amos, and he's determined to show him a good time.
Do you like my hat, Sky TV viewers? Do you like it? It's my new funky hat with a present, eh? Bye!
Jeremy and Amos are staying in the plush La Ventana Hotel in the heart of Ibiza Old Town. In San Antonio, Jill and Alan are checking out of their hotel and looking forward to better times ahead in Ibiza town. But their new room's not quite what they expected.
My God.
Oh, we got a sink.
Where's the shower, like?
Probably after showers.
No smoking?
Yeah, kidding. No smoking in bed.
I want to know who we're sharing this bathroom with.
Everybody on the floor, obviously.
Right then.
Bed, bathroom, that's all we need.
I don't like sharing a bathroom.
Tough. Gotta get used to it. I think it's fine. It's cheaper and we're in the town, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I just thought it would be a wee bit bigger, that's all.
God, you look good tonight. I must say, darling, you look wonderful tonight.
Jeremy and Amos are anxious to sample the Ibiza nightlife. But first, they've got to put in an appearance at the official EMI dinner. The boys are bored and want to get away.
Feasibly huge, I've got to say. Well, what we need to do is we need to watch this 15 minutes and then bugger off. Amazing, isn't it? It's fucking brilliant. I can't believe you did that. See this? I heard you did that. And you swallow as well. Listen, man, the way you took that beer was fucking wicked, man. Great. I've seen guys drink beer, but never the way you drink beer. It just slides down in front.
The diners are still waiting for their main course as Jeremy and Amos sidle towards the exit.
I feel like I'm slowly going under. I feel. All right, come on, Star. Let's go.
Let's go. Have a laugh. Come on, we're going to Mambo.
In San Antonio's West End, the lads are getting into party mood. If you believe their stories, the women in Ibiza are available and the sex is plentiful. But when the booze is flowing and the sap's rising, do they remember to use a condom?
I would always use a condom, but I have always used a condom and I've run out. I brought 15 and I've run out the lot. Classic.
No, I wouldn't sleep with a girl out here, and if I did, I'd be double bagged, mate, put it that way.
We all came out with the intention of, hey, find loads of really gorgeous blokes. And we haven't really found any. But never mind, maybe we're being too picky.
Condoms, I don't use them. I should, but I don't.
If someone says, oh, they won't wear a condom, then they're not worth it at the end of the day.
I've never used a condom in my life and I never will do.
Would I insist on a condom? God, yeah. God, yeah, of course I would.
I think it's like if a girl bought a bag of chips, she wouldn't leave the wrapper on to eat them, would she?
Coming up next, we go backstage with top DJ Jeremy Healy. And there's more trouble in store for Jill and Alan. Holidaying abroad gives you the chance to sample the local cuisine, or so you might think. But most Brits in Ibiza prefer to stick to what they know, while indulging in that great British pastime of complaining.
Food here has been crap.
Food here has been rubbish.
Really has. And I mean, it's just been really crap here, but we still eat it because we can't be asked going anywhere else.
Chicken here, this chicken here would look quite nice, but it's a bit pink inside, and chicken should be cooked properly. I don't think that's very cooked properly.
No, I just found a lump of metal in my lasagna.
The rice is all stodgy, it's like, it sticks to your mouth, it's not nice rice.
I'm eating chicken with some chips.
Is it nice?
Yeah, but no, we wanted no salad and they weren't able to not give me no salad.
What's wrong with salad?
Shite. It takes up chip space.
Spanish food is very different. It's very strong, you see. Even the paella, they like to try because if you are in a different country, you must try the typical food. But they just try one time. They never repeat.
One Brit abroad who doesn't indulge in any fattening food is John Hood, barman at the Village Inn in San Antonio. We met John in the first programme of the series when he decided to go on a crash diet. This week we caught up with him to find out how it was going.
Yeah, I went on the diet for my own sake. Just thought that I got to the age where if I didn't lose it now, I never would. I planned to lose about 6 stone. That's about 38 kilos. I did give myself like between 10 months and a year to do that. But things are going quite well. In 11 weeks, I'm just off the halfway mark. Joined a gym. And I haven't been in a gym for quite a few years now, and I'm finding it very hard. I didn't think that it would ever be that hard again. With the girls, when working in the bar, I'm getting a few more glances. Perhaps it's just me reading it into my own mind, but there's definitely a few more interested people, but I'm just playing it by ear at the moment.
Hi, you alright?
Down the coast in the family resort of Playa den Bossa, Geordie Alan Riddle is celebrating the end of a fortnight's holiday with his newfound friends.
I like Ibiza because you get a chance to meet different people. Met the lad here, balcony next door.
Yourself? Myself.
It's Davey yourself. And 2 days after I met Lenny, the Celtic man, Celtic fan by the way. Round the corner, he's got talking to him. You can tell the Scots because he's whipped me beer, his son. They'll not buy a beer, but they'll drink everybody else's.
This part of Ibiza is just ideal for families.
Oh,
absolutely exceptional.
Bought them tears the other night on that German bar and puffed us.
We thought we'd pulled these two chaps, they were after us. Well, it turns out they were after him and Dave. They weren't interested in us.
So the next thing I see them, the lasses has gone to the toilet. And the one's asking him, the big one, he's, are you married to her, like, and I good. And he says, him? Like that, he says, yeah, anyway. And they went, oh, I'll tell you what, I sobered up like that. I tell you what, there was 100 pesetas on the floor and it stopped there because I was nutman and I would have picked it up. Tell you, no way. I'm glad the lasses were with her. I mean, you know, they could have snipped the Mickey Finn into a drink and someone else into a vodka, you know. Yeah.
Back in Ibiza town, it's crunch time for Jill and Alan.
Well, we've been here now a day, and Alan's got a job already in a restaurant. Tell him about it.
This restaurant that I'm working in, like, compared to the pay we're getting in San Antonio, it's a lot better. Getting like, it works out to be about 150 a week, pound, and the tips they say are usually about 70 quid, so it's good money. Get this apartment, which I've got to share with somebody else, I don't know who, and they really were saying like nobody else can move in, no one else can move in. In other words, saying like, don't bring Jill.
So I'm going to be on my own. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I found nothing yet at all.
Yeah, but you will, if you look.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be harder to find a job here. Because everybody I've asked, no, everybody I've asked says that everything's gone, it's too late.
Everybody said that about San Antonio.
No,
when we were
never.
there. They did.
Well, come on, all dressed.
Though they're not going out with each other, Jill and Alan are close friends and had always expected to live together during their time abroad.
Yeah, we're still going to be together most of the time anyway. It's just I don't have to listen to you snoring anymore.
I don't have to smell your feet anymore, thanks, pretty good.
I'm surprised I can smell them over yours. I kind of assumed that we'd probably get different jobs in different places, but I also assumed that we'd always be sharing accommodation together.
I thought that too.
It's time for Alan to move into his new flat.
Take them smelly shoes with you. No. If you want, just throw them out the street. Stamp on it. It's like a big rat. Gee. Oh my God, there's another one. Oh, stop it. Open the door and let me out.
Jill goes along to help.
Oh my God, I hate you. Alan! Alan, gee, my God, this is brilliant. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. Now we're going to go and get Jill a job with a fancy flat and a B-day.
Jill and Alan head for nearby Playa d'Anbossa to see if they can find her a job.
She's got to go and try another bar. She says that there might be something a couple of bars down.
What I'll do is I'll just go the whole length of the street to get to the house. That's all I can do, isn't it?
After 48 hours of hard partying, Jeremy and Amos are relaxing at their hotel before the night's gig at Amnesia.
The court could hit Jeremy's hand and incapacitate him for the evening, and then...
I was in a group called Hazy Fantasy. That was the first thing I did in music. And I wrote this song called John Wayne's Big Leggy. I wrote this song in the middle of the night. I was living in a flat with the two other people in the group. And I wrote this song, I was sitting in the kitchen, I wrote all these lyrics, and it was quite a funny song, although he hates it, but I think it's the best song I've written, actually. But anyway, I wrote it, and I thought, this is great, this is a hit record. And I didn't know, but I woke everyone up in the flat, I was like, look, I've written a hit record. And about
about, what, 6 months later, I guess, we got a record deal and it sold 450,000 records. So that was how I started in the music business.
I was working with Culture Club then, they'd just formed. This was pre they had any hits. And Jeremy, I think you already had a massive hit record, which pissed George off no end, as I remember. You look at that, Hazy got a hit first, it was very childish. Anyway, everyone used to go...
You didn't actually realise that two people could be successful. It was always
us
or
him.
Boy George is a really old friend of mine. I've known him since he's 15, so, you know.
And we love him.
And we're still not talking.
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
anyway, off screen. Now, what happened? Were was I?
Tell us how old you were when you were in Culture.
I was like 13.
Oh, sorry, what was I saying? Ibiza Riders.
I'm going to cry. OK, look, we met up there, and what happened was George went over to Jeremy and said that this guy, Amos, thinks you're a and then he came back to me.
Oh, yeah, they can use that.
And said you're a bounder.
Yeah,
and he came, well, I'm going to give up. I'm going to go.
Oh, no, I like the rest of it. You were doing really well, guys. I came here the first time. I came here with Boy George in 1987. If you love house music, it's a great place to come to listen to music. You've got constant entertainment. You've got, you know, all the best DJs in the world come here every year. It's a big club, isn't it? It's you know, it's real fun, you know.
It's all the drugs, I think. Oops. A lot of the house music culture is based around ecstasy, so, you know, they're like sort of inseparable. And of course, we don't take any at any time because we know how bad they are for you. And just remember, it's not clever or big, but, you know, house will always be tied in with that. That's sort of part of what started it and made the movement work in the first place. But it's not my fault.
I was in Paris with my friend John Galliano, and we were doing a Haute Couture show, which happens twice a year. And that's like a very, very big production and stuff. So I was in the studio all last weekend. I'm actually a bit nervous because usually when you just go, it's nearly time. You just go to the gig and you do it and there's no time to think about anything. And, you know, usually I'm in a car listening to the new records, learning the music so I can mix it in the right places, which is always an advantage. And, you know, so, but this time, because I've been here for 2 days, I've had a bit of a build-up, so I'm a bit nervous about it.
Jeremy's one of the most commercially successful DJs, but he's attracted criticism precisely because he's so popular.
Actually, what I'm going to do tonight, from hearing what they played in the last 2 nights, I play a lot harder music than they play here, which is probably going to bomb. But, you know, so a lot of people, I mean, maybe in the past my selections were more song-orientated and stuff, but I think I still like songs. But
the thing is with that point, right, is I'm just say it's all bollocks, and ultimately in England, if you get successful, people slag you off, and you know it through anyone, whether it's through acting or whatever, and that's what's happened with you. And it's not fair, so stop it. Very emotional.
I don't want to. I want to be loved.
Ted, get out. Want to move,
I
but
want
can't.
to be loved.
Giving it everything she's got at Amnesia tonight is our old friend Carla.
Wow, that was mad. Jeremy Healy, and he's cutting loads of different bits so you can like do whatever you want. I haven't really listened to too much of it before, but I'm really impressed. I've got to say, hey man, respect to the DJ. Can I have a tape? This is my second week, and I'm absolutely knackered because I haven't had a day off yet. But I'm going to get one off next week, which is brilliant, because I really need to relax.
because it seemed that everyone's on my case, and it's such hard work, 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off. Some nights, tonight I'm really enjoying the music. It's excellent. I'm having a really good time.
As Carla goes back into the club, Jeremy Healy's come to the end of his 2-hour set, but he's not entirely happy with his performance.
No, it was a little bit of hard work for me because I was really tired, and when you're tired, you sort of have to concentrate twice as hard, so it took a lot of the fun out of it for me. But I'll be looking forward to coming back again, and I think I can do better next time. But I was a bit rocky tonight because literally we've been overindulging in Ibiza, so it's, you know, like tonight, if I'd have come out like yesterday night instead of the night before, and I had to mother my boy here, my brother, and he hadn't been out to Ibiza before, so it became my duty to show him the worst spots in this island, and so basically it's his fault.
Love blossoms on the Spanish Isle.
Got down on one knee, it was really, really embarrassing because everyone just started staring and just out of his head said, "Mommy, will you marry me?"
Why don't everyone get Larry?
Sam and Kez's friendship is on the rocks.
You're getting Larry? Everyone flips the fucking shit out of me.
Geezer spills the beans on 1830s rep Alice.
It's lying, he's going to say that I had cum dripping down my legs.
Fire.
And there's a fire at Ibiza's top nightclub.
Open all exits. Open all exits.